Happy Saturday, everyone. It's a blustery one, but I'm in a tropical paradise. Not, I mean, obviously not really. Um, the reasoning for this, my birthday was last Sunday, and so Jamie and Sebastian brought a tropical paradise to me, and so I thought I'd share with you. So as it's iced or snowed over, we can just pretend that we're on like a very gorgeous, beautiful beach where there is less clothing and less blankets and less heat having to be pumped through our homes. Unless you really love this weather, then like happy day. It's today's your jam. um, but welcome to your Saturday practice. Or if you're joining at another day, maybe you're watching this in the summer and it's a beautiful day outside. Beautiful. Love it. Remember that time that it iced over. um, I'm Seville, if you haven't practiced with me before, and we're going to keep things pretty mellow today. I got my second dose of the vaccine on Friday, so all day, no, Thursday, because today's Saturday. I can't keep track of dates. So all day yesterday, I was at home just couch melting because I didn't feel awesome. And I feel great today. My arm is a little stiff, so if you see me do weird things with my arm, you know why. So then as I was planning this class, I just wanted to move my body and get it out of that couch melting stuckedness. So it's going to be a pretty chill class where we just get into the body, move it, breathe, and hopefully it's exactly what you need. If not, feel free to modify whenever, wherever. And if I'm not giving you enough, feel free to just like add in all the extra planks, or you can run around your house, run outside, do a snow angel, run back in, all those good things. um, yeah. And a quick note about the playlist before we get started. It's full of love songs. So here's the deal. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. I'm not necessarily a Valentine's person. And if you are, awesome. I love that. I just personally am not, but I feel like this time around, we all need a little extra love, whether it's self love, love to those around us, love to our community, love to our situation. So that is my intention for our practice today, is that wherever you're needing a little extra love, either for yourself or needing a little extra love to give out, that's what we're going to focus on. And we're going to listen to some really great and cheesy love songs on, on the way. But let's get started. Before we get started, I did say to grab a blanket. We're going to make a little cute cylinder, if you will, with your blanket. You'll just basically fold it in half, the big way, fold it in half again, and then roll it. Unless you have a bolster, then like grab your bolster. But we're making a cute little cylinder with your blanket. And we are going to lay over that. So you're going to lay it long ways on your mat, making sure you have enough space for your cute little head. And you'll want to move your coffee and mimosas out of the way. That's what I'm enjoying this morning. And you'll bring the blanket right to the base of the spine. And you'll start to lay over it. And then you'll bring your arms out to a T. Your choice on if you keep the knees bent or if you bring the legs out long. And go ahead and hit play on your playlist. And feel free to sing along to any and all of the songs. As we start to settle in here, maybe the eyes are open or maybe they're closed. And as you start to get settled, maybe you're really loving having the blanket underneath the body. Maybe you're not, so you can always scooch it out. Maybe you play with having one knee bent or both, whatever feels great for you. But allow those shoulder blades to start melting down toward the earth. feeling a broadening and opening across the heart, across the collarbones. And we'll start to focus on that intention for our practice, focusing on the love that we need, the love that we give, the love that those around us may need, or what our community might need. And if you're laying over a blanket or a bolster, you'll just gently roll to one side and sneak it out from behind you. Maybe keep that cute cylinder shape. You might want it later. And we'll take a couple breaths, either knees bent or knees straight, just allowing the spine to rest on the mat. Feel free to keep the arms out to a T, or you can rest the hands on the body. And can you tap back into that broadening, that opening across the collarbones, across the heart, feeling those shoulder blades melt down toward the earth, feeling the neck lengthen, the crown of the head reaching toward the back of the mat. Allowing the spine to feel nice and long and supported. And we'll reach the hands up to the sky. And we'll give the wrists a little bit of a roll one way and then the other, maybe bringing the hands into fists. And with your next breath, we'll reach the hands toward the back of the mat, keeping that nice long spine, belly button pulling in toward the spine. Next breath, we'll reach the hands up to the sky and hands reach down toward the hips. So just follow the breath. You're pairing the breath and the body. One more time, reaching the hands up. And we'll bring the knees in toward the chest, hugging onto the knees or the shins or maybe even the backs of the thighs, allowing the head and the shoulders to still rest down toward the mat. Giving yourself a little squeeze, maybe just rock a little side to side. Using the floor as a nice little massage moment, remembering the days of laying on a concrete brewery floor Like, those would give, like, the sweetest back massages, right? We'll come back to the center, and we'll bring the knees over the hips, finding that 90-degree angle, or whatever angle feels good for you. We'll bring the hands onto the knees or the thighs. And with your next breath, we'll push the left foot toward the front of the mat. And next breath, we'll bring that knee back to meet the right. It's nothing too crazy. Just waking up the legs and the core a little bit. Keep that gentle hug in of the belly button to the spine. And if you're like, Seville, come on, let's get moving. You can alternate, reach the right hand back while the left hand is, left foot is reaching forward, and then, do the opposite things. Obviously, I haven't had enough coffee, or I just sat on the couch way too much yesterday. And one more time for each foot. And we'll hug the knees in one more time. And we'll bring the arms out to that T shape or that cactus shape. Maybe you bump your plastic palm tree. And we'll drop the knees over to the right. Next breath, we'll bring the knees to the center and the knees over to the left. So following the breath. And one more time each side. Hugging the knees in one more time. And however makes sense in the body, maybe you rock and roll up and down the spine, maybe move over to one side and press your way up. We're going to come to a comfortable seat. Crisscross or legs out or butterfly legs, whatever makes sense for you. If the hips are feeling a little grabby and not awesome, you can always sit on your cute blanket. Let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands through heart center. 2 more times. Follow your breath. Continue to feel that broadening across the collarbones. Hands to the heart. And we're going to start to sneak the hands forward, finding a couple breaths here in this forward fold over your legs. Maybe you rock a little side to side. And we're going to walk the hands back up toward the legs. Now we're going to flip it and reverse it when it comes to our hands. We'll bring the hands to the heart, and then we'll reach the hands up, turn the palms away from each other, and press the hands down. 2 more times. Hands to the heart. We'll bring the hands to the knees, and we'll drop the chin toward the chest, keeping that spine nice and long, keeping the heart reaching up toward the sky. And we'll bring the left ear toward the left shoulder, and then chin to chest, Right ear, right shoulder, chin to chest. One more time, each side. Chin to chest. Reach the crown of the head up toward the sky. Get your mane out of the way. And then we're going to just gently sit back, just a quick, cute boat pose, foot high fives all around, and put the other leg in front. See, that was the quick, cute part of the boat pose. Inhale, let's reach the hands up toward the sky. Exhale, we're going to twist toward the right. Left hand resting on that right knee, using that back hand more as a guide and less of a kickstand. With each inhale, think length, and your exhale, think twist. Feeling that broadening across the collarbones, the crown of the head reaches up. If you need a little bit more of those neck releases, maybe you turn the gaze back and then turn it forward. And let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. And exhale to the other side. Right hand resting on that left knee, that backhand, just fingertips on the earth. And maybe you start moving the gaze from front to back. And we'll reach the hands up toward the sky. Hands come to the heart. And we're going to bring the hands behind the hips, just staying up on the fingertips. Think of having cute little Valentine's cupcakes. That's a thing, right? And you don't want to smush the cupcakes. And then we'll press the heart up toward the sky. Feel free to stay here. Maybe you turn the gaze up slightly if the neck allows. My neck is not allowing today. And breathe deeply across the heart. If you haven't guessed, we are going to be doing a decent amount of heart openers today. Heart openers can incite a lot of feelings. So just be here for the feelings. Just observe them as they come and go. Sometimes they can give you like a heart racing feeling or like, yes, this is the best thing. I feel open and free. Other times, if you're not feeling so open and free, it might not feel awesome. So make sure you're being kind to yourself and breathing and observing. And we'll keep this broadness across the collarbones as we pull the belly in, as we stack the spine, and we'll reach the hands up toward the sky. And maybe you V out the arms just a little bit. And if it were up to me, we'd probably just stay seated for the entire practice, but I don't think everyone wants to just stay seated or laying down for their practice. So let's get moving. So let's come over to hands and knees, table pose. We're gonna bring the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And let's drop the belly, send the heart forward, coming into cow pose. Exhale to round the spine, tuck the chin, finding cat pose. And we'll flow through this a couple times. Following your breath, moving as slowly or as quickly as you might need. And if you're playlisting, we're getting to Mariah, Always Be My Baby. So please, I beg of you, sing it out. For my birthday, I did get karaoke I think we'll do karaoke tonight, and I'll sing this, and I'll dedicate it to all of you. The end. And let's start to find that happy medium between cat and cow, belly pulled in, heart reaching forward, crown of the head reaching forward. We're going to take it up toward the sky. Going to get cozy because we're going to come right back up with your next. Sweep it under. And one more time. Again, we're not going to get cozy. We're just moving. Reach the hand up. And we'll put the hand down. Let's sneak the left toes back, staying on the toes, pressing out through the heel. Belly pulls in, heart reaches forward. Staying here for a couple breaths. And with our next breath, let's roll open, coming to a modified side plank. Finding that broad collarbone moment. And try not to dump into that bottom shoulder, but press up and out. It might feel good to come up onto the fingertips to find a little extra space in the pose. And breathe deeply through the side body. And we'll bring the left hand onto the earth. Keep the left toes reaching back. Think plank in the left side body, because boom, plank, right foot's going to meet left. Finding our plank, you can always bring the knees down. We're just going to stay here for breaths. No counting, just breaths. And let's bring the knees back down, finding our table pose. We'll flow through cat-cow a couple times. Tell you what, these yoga and beer flannels, that's my shameless plug, very warm. And let's find that strong table pose. Belly pulls in, heart reaches forward, crown of the head reaches forward. Let's take the right hand, sweep it out and up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale up. Two more times. We'll reach that right hand up, and we'll bring the right hand onto the earth. Find that strong table pose as we sneak the right toes back. Maybe you shimmy a little to Mariah. And whenever you're feeling ready, we're going to roll open to that modified side plank. Feeling those shoulder blades moving toward each other. Again, maybe you come up on those bottom fingertips to find a little more space in the pose. Breathing deeply into the right side body. We'll bring the right hand down, keeping those right toes reaching back. Think plank and sneak attack plank. And breaths. Make sure you're breathing. And we'll bring the knees down, finding our table pose. Let's bring the big toes together, knees come apart, sinking the hips back, finding our child's pose. Here's my formal invitation to come to this pose at any point during your practice, anytime you may want or need. This is a little love moment to yourself. And if you have the arms reaching forward, maybe you come up onto the fingertips to really feel those shoulder blades move toward each other, to feel the heart press down toward the earth. And from our child's pose, let's rise up, finding our table pose. Let's tuck the toes and reach the hips up and back, downward facing dog. But let's make this a nice wide down dog. So maybe you bring your feet about mat's width distance, as well as the hands, and turn the hands out slightly, creating a lot of extra space in the shoulders and the hips. Maybe you sway the hips side to side. Maybe you bounce with Beyonce. Just taking a couple breaths here to waken the body a little more, to create a little more space. And let's start to bend the knees, and we're going to, doesn't have to be graceful, we're going to walk the hands back toward the feet, finding kind of a wide-legged forward fold. Feel free to keep a nice juicy bend in the knees. Be real nice to those hamstrings. And let's sneak the hands onto the shins and just kind of slowly walk the hands up the shins as you start to stack the spine inch by inch. Head is the last piece to stack. Heel toe the feet in or jump. Let's inhale, reach the hands up to the sky. Exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale, reach. And exhale, let's fold. Inhale, finding our halfway lift and pause. Feel the shoulder blades move toward each other. Feel that strong table back. Feel the crown of the head reaching forward. Exhale, fold. And we're going to walk the hands forward, finding our down dog for a moment, just a regularly spaced out down dog. Unless you really love that wide-legged, then get to it. And with our next breath, let's inhale, roll forward to plank, top of a push-up. Let's bring our knees down. Shine the heart forward. Use your entire exhale to lower down, elbows point back. Untuck the toes, glue the tops of the feet onto the earth. Use the strength of the legs to shrug the shoulders up, back, and down, sending your heart forward. Finding your little baby cobra. And we'll lower down. However it makes sense in the body, let's find our way back to downward facing dog. And from down dog, if it makes sense in the body, your right foot is going to reach up and back. Right foot does not have to be graceful. We're going to step it forward. We're going to bring that back knee onto the earth. Belly pulls in, heart reaches forward. And let's rise up. If you need a little extra love on that knee, we are going to be here for a moment. So you can always grab your blanket, add a little extra padding, or you can always come up off of the knee. But let's reach the hands up toward the sky. Feeling really strong and solid in the legs. So feel that front foot dragging back, that back knee pulling forward. And let's reach the hands behind us. And we're going to clasp thumbs, clasp hands, or hold on to opposite elbows, whatever makes the most sense in your shoulders. Keeping the belly engaged, let's reach the heart up toward the sky. Feel the fingertips or the knuckles drag down toward the earth. Feel free to stay here. Or with your next breath, we're going to lean forward. Next breath, we'll rise up. So we're going to flow through that a couple times. Follow your breath. One more time. And try not to slingshot the arms or thumbs apart. So we reach the hands forward. Let's take that right hand and sweep it down and back, finding our twist. And then we're going to reach the left hand forward, bring it down onto the earth. Feel free to stay up on the fingertips to create a little more space. And we'll reach that right hand up toward the sky if that feels okay. With your next breath, let's reach the right hand forward, sweep it down, reach it back and up. Focusing the movement from the shoulder joint and less from the arm. One more time. We'll bring the hands down onto the earth. Let's tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. We'll sneak back to plank. Knees up or down, option for vinyasa. And know that vinyasas are always optional. They're a really great time to get sips of beverages or for child's pose, any of those good things. But we'll meet back in downward facing dog. And from down dog, if it makes sense in the body, left foot reaches up and back. Does not have to be graceful. We're bringing that left foot forward. Right knee comes down, either with extra padding or maybe the knee just doesn't want to be down today. Pull the belly in, shine the heart forward. We're going to rise up. Tuning into those strong leg muscles, that activation of the legs. We'll reach the hands behind us. You can remember which thumb was on top last time. Maybe you put the other one on top. And then also, option to hold opposite elbows or clasp the hands. Pull the belly in as you shine the heart up toward the sky. Fingertips reach down. Feel free to stay here, or let's start to bow forward, leading with the heart and rising up. 2 more times. Gently release the hands, reach the arms forward. We're going to reach that left hand back, start to reach the right hand forward. Right hand comes down, left hand reaches up toward the sky. And then we'll start to reach the left hand forward, sweep it down, back, and up. 2 more times, taking your time, moving through this. And we'll bring that left hand down onto the earth, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Let's look forward and step forward, finding our forward fold for a couple of breaths. Feel free to hold on to opposite elbows, put that juicy bend in the knees. We'll release the elbows, inhaling to a halfway lift and pause. Find the heart opening moment. Feel the crown of the head reach forward. Exhale, let's forward fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. And hands to the heart. And let's reach the arms forward. And we're going to take the right arm, sweep it down and back. Sweep it down and forward. Left hand sweeps down and back. Down and forward. Let's reach both arms up toward the sky. And let's cactus out the arms. Heart reaches up toward the sky. High fives to your plastic palm tree. Or if you have buddies around that aren't palm trees, you can high five them. And pull the belly in to stack the shoulders back over the hips as you reach the arms up toward the sky. And hands come to the heart. We're going to root into the right foot. We're going to bring the left knee up. And if you're like, nope, I'm not staying on one foot today, you can always keep the toes on the earth. Staying here for another breath. And we're going to move into our palm tree as we put that back foot down onto the earth, finding our warrior one legs. Again, check in, make sure you have the strong, active legs happening here. And then we'll reach the hands behind the back, finding that clasp. And feel the heart lift up toward the sky. And checking in with the shoulders here, making sure it's less of just a shoulder cranking open and that this opening starts from the mid back, pressing the heart forward. Feel free to stay here, or you can start to find that flow to humble warrior. And then coming up. And we'll pause here at the top. And we'll start to straighten that front leg. And we'll bend into that front knee again. And instead of bowing all the way forward, we'll propel the heart forward, finding all sorts of energy and activation. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you start to find a moment of flight. And if holding on to the arms is too much, you can always release and find your superhero cape. Staying here for another breath. And we'll step that back foot back, and we'll stay up on those toes. Reach the hands up to the sky. And we're going to open up warrior two, facing the left edge of the mat. Inhale, let's straighten the front leg, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Take that front palm, turn it up toward the sky, and we'll reverse the warrior. Holding it here for a couple breaths, breathing in to the right side body. Coming back, warrior two. Let's inhale, reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. And we'll reach the right hand forward, coming into our side angle. And just like when we were in modified side plank, make sure you press up and out of that bottom shoulder. Try not to dump into that shoulder. Feel the broadening across the wingspan. And we'll rise back up, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Now let's flow through it and dance through it. So let's come through reverse warrior. Warrior two, over to side angle. Back to warrior two. and reverse. Warrior two. One more time. And this time when we come to reverse, let's straighten that front leg. Come to reverse triangle. Bend into that front knee. Cartwheel the hands down onto the earth. And let's step our way back. Downward facing dog. Option to hang out here. Option to move through the vinyasa, rolling forward to plank, modified plank, lowering down. Sending the heart forward. And we'll find our way back to child's pose. Taking a couple breaths here to reconnect with your intention or to grab a sip of your mimosa. Cheers. Which if you make mimosas like I do, it's basically champagne with like a spritz of orange juice in it. And from our child's pose, let's rise up, finding our downward facing dog. And however it makes sense in the body, you can tiptoe, step, hop, levitate your way, somersault your way to the top of the mat, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. And hands to the heart. Taking just a couple moments to again reconnect with your breath, your intention. I have a snow joke as we breathe. What do you call it when a snowman has a temper tantrum? A meltdown. There you go. Please feel free to use that anywhere and everywhere. That's just your reminder to take yourself a little less serious during our practice today. And let's reach the arms up as we root through that left foot. Right knee comes up. Again, you don't have to stand on one foot. Toes can always stay on the earth. Taking a couple breaths here to feel really long in the top body, to feel really stable in the bottom half of the body. And we'll start to move that right foot back, planting the foot, finding your warrior one. And let's move the hands behind the back. Again, clasp, hold on to elbows, thumb clasp. Pulling the belly in to reach the heart up toward the sky. Feel free to stay here or start to flow through this, moving to humble warrior and then back up to warrior one. And leading with the heart as you bow forward, keeping the shoulders moving back. One more time. This time as we rise up, let's straighten that front leg. Reach the heart up a little bit more. And let's bend to that front knee. Press the heart forward. And maybe you start to find some flight. Again, if that's a lot to hold that clasp, you can always release the clasp. Really do whatever you want with your arms. You can swim with the arms. Staying here for another breath. And we'll bring that back foot down, staying up on the back toes, and opening up warrior two. Inhale, let's reach up, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Front palm turns up toward the sky, and let's reverse. Staying here for a couple breaths. Pressing back, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Reach the left hand forward, finding side angle. Pressing up and out of that bottom shoulder, feeling the shoulder blades move toward each other. Pressing back, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Now let's start to dance and flow through it. Following your breath. And one more time. This time as we come to reverse warrior, let's straighten that front leg. Opening up the side body. And we'll cartwheel the hands down onto the earth. Option, well, we'll step back to downward facing dog. Option for vinyasa, for drinking, for child's pose, for table. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And from down dog, let's make our way to the top of the mat. Inhaling to a halfway lift and pause. Exhale, let's fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. Hands to the heart. And we'll reach the hands forward. Right hand sweeps down and back, down and forward. Left hand down and back, down and forward. Inhale, let's reach the hands up to the sky. And we'll cactus, I almost said cartwheel, cactus up the arms. We'll just do a quick cartwheel, no big deal. It's a gymnastics class now. Pull the belly in to reach the hands up toward the sky. And hands come to the heart. And we'll start to bend the knees. It's not chair pose really, because we're gonna chair pose with the forearms on the thighs. Coach pose. So from here, we are going to start to straighten the left leg, reaching the left hand up toward the sky, finding that twist, finding that broadness across the collarbones, across the wingspan. Feel free to stay here, or you can start to slide the right hand down onto the earth. And we'll bend the left knee, sneak the forearms back onto the thighs. And we'll start to straighten that right leg any amount. Reach the right hand up toward the sky. Feel the broadness, feel the shoulder blades move toward each other. Crown of the head reaches forward. And maybe you start to sneak that left hand down any amount. And we'll bend both knees, finding that fun little coach pose again. And let's forward fold. Now, if you're wanting one more vinyasa, now is your time to get to it. But we are going to be meeting in table pose. So if you're vinyasa'd out, we'll find our way to table pose. And we'll breathe there for a couple moments while we wait for our friends to meet us there. And if, while we're waiting, if you want a couple rounds of cat-cow, get to it. And we'll start to walk the hands in toward the knees. And we'll come to standing on the knees. And we're going to bring our hands toward the low back. So imagine that you're wearing a really great pair of high-waisted jeans and the top of the pockets start all the way up here. And you just want lay your fingertips in the pockets. That's where we're going. And we'll start to move the elbows back toward each other as we press the heart up toward the sky. Belly continues to pull in, and the low ribs also continue to pull in toward each other. And maybe you sneak the hands further down into the pockets. These are also Jinko jeans that have really deep pockets. So maybe your hands move down onto the booty, or maybe down onto the backs of the thighs to the low booty. Just a little bit of kind of preparation into camel pose. And if you're familiar with camel pose and you're like, I need this, get to it, but we're gonna stay here. And with each inhale, think length, and each exhale, think deepening the heart, opening. And we'll slowly start to rise up. Just taking a breath here. We'll bring the hands down onto the earth, staying pretty solid in table pose for a moment. And we'll come into just very easy, gentle cat-cow, nothing too crazy. And we'll shift the legs over to the side, come over onto the booty. We're gonna start to chill out. So if you want to grab a sweater or your yoga and beer flannel, feel free. And we'll start, nothing too fancy, too crazy. We'll start to lower down onto the back. And if you are wanting extra core or extra fancy things, get to it. Do what feels good for you. But we'll bring the arms out to a T or that cactus shape. And just take a moment, a breath here to again allow the spine to feel supported on the earth, to feel the heart opening, the shoulder blades melting down. And we'll bring the knees in toward the chest, and we'll bring the knees over to the right, coming into our supine twist. And if it feels okay on the neck, maybe you turn the gaze over the left shoulder. And allow yourself to breathe deeply. And we'll bring the knees back to the center and over to the left. And again, if it feels okay on the neck, maybe you turn the gaze to the right. And we'll come back to the center. Taking these next couple breaths to move through any other poses that the body might be craving. And then we'll start to find our way into our final resting pose. And if you loved laying over that blanket or that bolster, feel free to get all cozy with it and get settled and situated there. But find your final resting pose in whatever manner or way that the body is needing and wanting. And start to allow the breath to become a little more natural, flowing in and out of the body. Before you drift away into that beautiful Shavasana land, coming back to our intention for our practice. You know, it's fun to giggle at all these love songs. But truly, what the world does need right now is more love, more compassion, more understanding, more people that will love freely and fiercely. So start to let that intention of free and fierce love to settle into your mind, your breath, your body. Let's start to deepen the breath. Inviting movement back in the hands and the feet. Maybe rocking the head side to side. Whenever you're ready, start to press your way up, finding a comfortable seat, bringing the hands to the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice, energy, spirit, and love with me this morning. The light within me honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. And cheers. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to come close to the camera. Hello, everyone. Um, thank you for joining me for enduring all of the sappy love songs. Now you have a playlist for tomorrow. The end. You're welcome. um, but let's see. Oh, Heidi, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Um, yes, Rachel, your Darth Vader Snuggie does work for class. I hope it worked perfectly. But again, thank you all for joining this morning and all those good things. Make sure that you are doing all of the passport goodness today. You can check that out on all of our social medias that you can be entered in. I'm losing words right now. I'm just so excited about all of these happy things. And then next class is Monday. Mickey does have a 90-minute flow that will be tomorrow morning. So definitely check that out if you've been craving those longer classes. Then Monday, Jamie is leading us through a beautiful flow. You know how to find us. You know all the goods. Have a beautiful day. Everyone stay safe out there. Happy Valentine's Day and happy Mardi Gras on Tuesday. Have a good one, guys.